Hello everyone, welcome. Just wanted to read a little bit to you from Experiencing God Through Prayer, one of my favorite little books, an English translation of the famous book by Madame Guyon. This is her famous book, was written in French, translated into English. There are a lot of translations of the book. Actually, all the ones I've seen are fairly good, because it's the spirit of what she says that's important. I want to read something to you from chapter 3. It's entitled Beginning the Journey. Dear reader, know this fundamental truth as you begin. When Jesus prays for God's kingdom to come, that's the Lord's Prayer, remember that he said, the kingdom of God is within you. So, the Lord's Prayer says, we ask God that his kingdom come and his will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So we ask that his kingdom come. Christ said, the kingdom of God comes not by observation. We say it is there or it is there. It's within you. The kingdom of God is within you. So I find that very, very interesting. Let's look at it from another perspective. Have you known people that there's hell in? Okay. Some people, you see hell in them. Well, if that's the case, then couldn't it be that there's heaven in some people? The kingdom of God is within you. The kingdom of God is within you. So, if the kingdom of God is not within you, then that means that you have to keep searching. Didn't Christ tell us to search? He said, seek and you will find. But you have to seek. One time he said, you have not because you ask not. You have to seek. You have to want it. See, we want a lot of things, don't we? Yes, we do. We want things. When we're little kids, we want toys and so on, right? Sometimes we make them too important, don't we? We make things too important. But as we get older, we should begin to put things in perspective and see what really is important. And then what's really important, then that's what we should seek for and search for. Okay? The kingdom of God. The kingdom of God. It's a kingdom. God is the king. But who did he put in charge of the kingdom? He put Jesus in charge. So it's Jesus' kingdom. The kingdom of God will put Jesus in charge, like the emperor of the kingdom. So we want God's will to be done. That's what Jesus said how we should ask for. We should ask that his kingdom come. So if his kingdom were to come, then you would sense it near you. You would sense it near you. And then being close to it, see, you would have security. So that's what you need to ask for. Now there are certain things that seem to go against being close to the kingdom of God. Things that pull you away from your center of being. What pulls you away from your center? Well, you know what it is. Emotions, especially anger at people, resenting people, having a grudge against people. That pulls you away, doesn't it? And any kind of emotion, too much excitement. Too much excitement. Whenever you get excited about something, or angry about something, or you want something too much, even a game, playing a game of tennis, if all of a sudden winning becomes too important, you forget all about friendship, sportsmanship, comradeship. See, a different spirit enters the game. You forget. If you were very close to the kingdom of God, you wouldn't forget, would you? If you were coming from a place that was near the kingdom of God, you wouldn't forget. So obviously, we can see that emotions pull you away. Any emotion. Okay? Selfishness pulls us away, doesn't it? Wanting something too much pulls us away. And getting too involved in getting overwhelmed by the cares of the world. Yes, we do have cares. We have things we have to deal with. We have bills to pay and issues to deal with. We do. But you mustn't let them overwhelm you. You mustn't let them fill up all of your time and all of your mind. That's what they want to do, don't they? The cares of the world, something to worry about. Seems like it wants to fill up your mind. It wants to have you thinking about it while you're going for a walk, while you're eating dinner, while you're sitting there quietly, while you're doing anything. It keeps intruding into your mind. It's like intruding, demanding attention. Okay? So you have to learn how to be able to stand back and observe it without going for it, without getting involved with it and grappling with it and becoming enmeshed with it. You have to kind of keep it at a distance. With you closer to the kingdom of heaven, and whatever it is that wants to pull you away at a distance. Perhaps you can also see that resenting it doesn't help. Resenting it is another way of remember we said emotions pull you away from your center. Well, so does resentment, which is a kind of an emotion. So you mustn't deal with them in any way. Just watch these things that seek to grab your attention. Thoughts do. See? So you have to watch them. It doesn't mean that we don't sometimes have to think about something, or we have to do something. We have to pay a bill. We have to deal with an issue. But you must learn to deal with things without worry, without resentment, without emotion, calmly, okay? Dispassionately. That's why it's good to learn how to get into your center, to become centered, and become aware of. Look for the kingdom of God and become aware of it when it's near. And be grateful. See? Be grateful for it. Now, all of these troubles and things to worry about and tease and challenge on the outside, and temptations, well, they all have a purpose. They serve a purpose. They serve a purpose. They make you aware of your weakness. They make you aware of your weakness. When you find yourself egotistically reacting to something somebody said, or a look they gave you, or somebody cut in front of you, or something you want too much. Something you want too much. Could be anything. A piece of clothing. Somebody to acknowledge you. A grade. Could be anything that you want too much. See? Then if you find yourself getting upset, getting irritated, thinking about it, wanting it too much, for example, then that shows you your weakness. You see a selfishness on your part, a lack of perfect patience, a lack of selflessness, a lack of courage, a lack of honor. You see your lack. That's why the temptation gets to you. And so seeing it, don't react to what you see. Seeing it, see? Therefore, as you stand back and observe it, you see your own wrong, but not part of the wrong. You're no longer part of the wrong, you're observing the wrong. And in that way, you don't feed it. See? it doesn't get stronger. If you struggle with it, it gets stronger. If you give in to it, it gets stronger. So you have to see the folly of giving in or struggle. You have to find a neutral place where you just observe it until it diminishes, goes away. Or until you wake up one day and discover that this good place from which you are coming, close to the kingdom of God, the light in which you walk, in which you can see your error objectively, from that light, see, you, and by siding with that light, and coming from that light, and being close to the light, then it changes you. It changes you. Even as when you reacted to temptations on the outside, they changed you, didn't they? You changed when you became resentful, when you resented your parents, when you wanted the approval from your peers too much, when you wanted social approval, or when you wanted some item, or when you were jealous of someone who had something, see, or when you were angry, and so angry you felt empty, and then you went for drugs or alcohol or something to try to fill the emptiness, see? Now you see how those changed, then they changed you, didn't you, when you did those things? Later on you discovered that you were changed. You actually became like the worldly ones that may have teased you and challenged you in the first place. You saw people getting away with stuff. You saw people being rude, being selfish, being arrogant, see, and so on. And then later, lo and behold, that's what you became. In your wanting and turning your back on what you knew in your heart to get it, then you changed. You see how those things change you. But now if you can stand back and just observe the challenges, the teases, your own emotions, your own wrong emotions, the thoughts, see, just observe them. Then that which is observing them, see, comes through you and changes you, alters your environment and changes you. Like magic. It's like magic. Look, God, everything that he does there's nothing that he can't do. I heard somebody say that. I never heard that before, but now it seems right. There's nothing that he can't do. He can do anything. He can make the most beautiful flowers. He can make dogs and wolves and deer, and he can make stars, billions of stars and clouds, and he can do anything. Okay? Like magic. How does he do it? Well, he certainly can change you. Like magic. But you have to get near. You have to come near to the kingdom of God. And you have to let go of your pride. See, your pride keeps you from it. When you don't want to admit you're wrong, when there's something you don't want to give up, when you still resent and hold a grudge against people. So what keeps you from being close to the kingdom of God? Well, if you resent other people, if you hate other people, that's one thing. Okay? Then the other thing is doubt. Doubts. Doubting what you know in your heart. When you were a little kid, you knew things. You saw injustice. When one kid was getting away with stuff, you saw it. You knew it. You didn't have to go to school. You didn't have to read a book. You didn't have to go to a college class. You didn't have to take a class in ethics. You didn't have to go to a minister and ask him. Well, if you saw one kid getting away with something, you knew there was something wrong with that. And another kid was being dumped on for no reason. You saw something wrong with that. See? So, therefore, you just saw it. Okay? Well, you saw it in the light. In your heart, you knew. And in your heart, you knew what was right. You know you shouldn't have, get angry at your mommy and resent your sister and hate somebody and You knew you shouldn't steal. You knew these things. Nobody had to teach you that you didn't have to steal. You knew it. Yes, there were temptations around. And then maybe somebody tempted you to get angry or tempted you to steal something. Or see, but then you knew it was wrong in your heart, didn't you? So you have to come back to that. Unless you become as a little child, Christ said, you cannot enter the kingdom of God. So if you want to get back close to God, then you have to begin to once again believe into those things that you knew as a little child. You have to believe in them and don't doubt them. But then look at the doubt thoughts. Where do they come from? They're always seeking to make you doubt what you know in your heart, aren't they? See, the problem is you believed those doubt thoughts. Or you became emotional and angry, and that separated you from your inner ground, and then you became vulnerable to those kind of thoughts. So now you must see those as temptations, as something that wants to pull you away from what you know in your heart, that wants to pull you away from the kingdom of God, that wants to pull you away from being centered and being patient and not resenting other people and trusting. It's such a beautiful thing to just sigh a sigh of relief and let all this baggage go. All your hatreds and your resentments of people and your angers and unfinished business, just let it go. See? And go through life like a tourist, just observing things, observing people. Don't hate them. Don't resent them. Okay? Just realize we're all lost sheep. We're all like lost sheep who have gone astray. Where does it say that? Is that a fairy tale, or does it say it in the Bible? Well, it's true. They're all lost sheep, so just forgive them. Don't want anything from them. Okay? Don't expect love from them, and don't expect appreciation, and don't expect them to think well of you. Just go through life like a tourist, observing things, marveling at all the things that you see. Okay? And don't resent anyone. Okay? And don't resent yourself either. And when those doubt thoughts approach, then just observe them. Stand back. Don't get involved. Don't believe them. See? Don't disbelieve them. Just observe them until as they go away. You don't have to interact with them at all. Just watch them and go away. Realize it's not even your own thinking. It's not your thinking, but they're there. And just see clearly what I had said, that they're actually a temptation. They're trying to pull you away. See, so don't resent them. See, in the past, worries and fears and doubts, you used to resent them, didn't you? You wanted peace of mind. You said to yourself, I just want to have a nice quiet day. And then somebody came up with a problem, and then you resented them. Or I just want to have a nice day, and then some negative thoughts came, and then you resented them. See, that's the problem. That's your reaction to them. Don't react. They want you to react. Wherever those thoughts come from, they want you to react. So don't react. Just stand back. Watch. Just observe them and let them pass. Okay? Yes, they may torment you for a little while, but they lose when you don't go for them in any way. They just dissipate somehow, and they're gone. My name is Roland.